cookingwithkimberly.com, and tonight I'm going to show you how to bake really tasty cookies. We're making Almond Joy chunk cookies, okay? Now, if you've never heard of Almond Joy, it's a chocolate bar, and it just happens to be the time of year where you can get the little tiny ones. And I was looking at them going, I'd love to make some cookies out of you. So these are what they look like. That's what the package looks like, Almond Joy. They're also called mounds sometimes. They have almonds in there, whole almonds, as well as coconut and chocolate. Now, you can find more information about them online at Hershey's.com. What I've done is I've guesstimated. I need about 1 cup of these guys. Now, I guesstimated about 1 cup, put them in the refrigerator so I could chop them more easily. It's pretty hot here today, and I just figured this would work a little bit better. So let me start by chopping these guys up so they're ready to go. Just chop them into nice little chunks. I'll show you what it looks like inside. See, that's an almond at the top, and there's the coconut inside, and it's wrapped in chocolate. So these are gonna be kind of cool. So chop them into, chunks that you would want to eat that be maybe just a little bit bigger than a chocolate chip, or whatever size you think you'll enjoy. You could use a mezzaluna and make quick work of this, but I don't want to make just a whole bunch of mess. I don't want a whole bunch of crumbles. I want to make sure I have nice chunks. All of your ingredients are going to need to be at room temperature, and I'll run them down to you right now. We have 1 large egg. We have a half a teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, a little bit of salt, a little sprinkle of salt. We're going to use a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 cup's worth of these Almond Joy chunks, a half a cup of softened butter, a half a cup of sugar, and a half a cup of brown sugar packed. Okay? On top of that, we're using 1 cup of flour plus 3 tablespoons and 1 1/4 teaspoons of water. Now, I've preheated my oven to 375 degrees because this shouldn't take too long to get all put together. I have parchment lined cookie sheets ready to go. We're going to only be able to bake 1 cookie sheet at a time. Now, you can use silicone baking sheets, or you can just grease them up if you want, but I like parchment. I think that works well for me. You can substitute this chocolate bar for any kind of chocolate bar you really desire. These chocolate bars are available in full size as well at most convenience stores and your grocery stores. So that's all I'm doing, just cutting them into chunks like that. All right, I think that's good. That's about a cup. We'll have some more to enjoy later. Now that that's prepared, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cream the butter and the sugars. Make sure that your butter is room temperature. Now, a cool trick for your sugar is to put the white sugar on the bottom if you need to do a half a cup. Fill a whole cup, half cup with the white sugar, and then pack the brown sugar on top. Just makes things easier. Ever wonder how to get all your butter out? Why don't you go on and wet your measuring cup first with water, and it comes out much easier. Slides off. Oil and water don't mix. Now, you can use your mix master or your handheld, and I'm just going to cream the sugars. And what that means is it's going to become a nice, light, fluffy mix, okay? You're not going to be able to really distinguish the sugar, and the butter is going to dramatically lighten in color as well. This will only take a couple minutes. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and make sure that you have everything incorporated. Now, you're using brown sugar today, so I guess you're not really going to be able to tell that the butter is really lightened in color. However, you're going to see that it's going to become much less granular with the sugar. This brown sugar, actually, it all lightened up. Now, if you're using just white sugar, you'll be able to tell a little bit better with just the butter. But you can see that this is going to become very, very creamy, and I'm going to show it to you in a second. That looks great. I'm just going to show this to you quickly. Now, you're going to see that it's light and fluffy. There's no more grains. It's very soft and smooth. It's almost light, like a cloud. Now, I'm going to add the egg to this, and I'm probably going to add only a half a teaspoon of vanilla. Please make sure you use real vanilla extract, not artificial. The artificial is made of a paper byproduct, and it's called vanillin, and it smells and kind of tastes like it, it looks like it, but it's actually a byproduct of paper. It's not good for you. This is the real thing. This is my Epicurial Pure Bourbon Vanilla Extract. Make sure you check out the review on this. It's very tasty stuff. We're going to beat this until it's nice and fluffy. Scrape down the side of the bowl. Do it for another couple seconds. We're looking very good. Light and fluffy. Nice light color. Okay, that's it for that bowl for a second. Okay, we're just gonna combine the dry ingredients quickly before I add them to the wet. Now that's 1 cup plus 3 tablespoons of flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon baking soda, and some salt. And I'm just gonna whisk that together so everything's evenly combined. It'll take but a sec. Okay, I'm going to add half of the flour, and I'm gonna do this by hand. I'm just gonna mix it by hand. Okay, this flour is mixed in. I'm going to add the rest of this flour and that little bit of water as well. Okay, my oven is preheated and we're nearly ready here. I'm just going to take my chunks of the Almond Joys and I'm going to fold them in very gently by hand. I don't want to mix it really tough. I just want to fold them in there so everything looks just nice. You don't want to crush them. This dough is nice and soft, so it should be relatively easy to do so. As soon as you feel like they're pretty much evenly combined, stop. My favorite part of cookies is always the dough. I always like the dough much better than I like the cooked cookies, and my mom complains, but when I'm cooking, I get to eat it first. Boy, that's good. So now, I'm going to get these prepared. I'm going to use a teaspoon and I'm just going to drop them on here about 2 inches apart. Make sure you get a nice chunk of the mounds there, the Almond Joys. Now these have quite a bit of butter and it's nice and soft, so theirs are going to probably be pretty chewy cookies. Also, they're going to tend to spread because they're already quite soft. Again, preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Looks like I'm going to go 5 by 4. That's what these guys look like. Don't they look tasty? Now these guys are gonna go in that oven for about 7 to 10 minutes. Keep your eye on them. You want them to be golden brown, that's it. When they look golden brown, take them out, that's it. And then you're gonna leave them a couple minutes, put them out on the cooling trays. Now I'm gonna get the other tray prepared while this is baking. Set your timer. Well, I have 2 trays and just a little tiny bit of this dough left, and I'm going to eat that raw. So my 2 trays are ready. My 1 set of cookies is almost done. That's my favorite way. These guys are done at 8 minutes. Look at how beautiful. I'm gonna let these sit here on the sheet just for a couple minutes. I'm gonna throw in this other tray. That's gorgeous. Now get yourself a cooling rack out. So you're ready. Okay, it's been a couple minutes and I'm just gonna transfer them. They are solidified enough for me to get them off, and that parchment makes things really easy. Now transfer them gently to a cooling rack to let them continue to cool. Now these would be fantastic to use once they're completely cooled for little ice cream sandwiches, because they're nice and flat and it would make a beautiful sandwich. See how flat they are? Now the reason they're so flat is because you use that nice soft butter and it's really hot in here today. So we're gonna get about 40 cookies out of this recipe. All right, these look great. These have both taken 8 minutes, which is super simple and easy. All right, these guys took 8 minutes, both trays. And I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes for these guys just to get them off of here onto the cooling rack. But these guys will be ready to taste. So let's try one, okay? Let me try a dirty one. They're still a little bit warm and I like that. Now, this cookie is nice and thin, nice little treat. And you can see that it's got those beautiful little chunks in it. Oh, they're gonna be chewy, I can already tell. They're crispy along the outside, nice and crunchy, and chewy on the inside. It's a perfect cookie. Oh, those are nice. Buttery. The chocolate and the coconut really stand out. They're crunchy. I'm gonna eat a million of these. Boy. Let me bring a couple to Mom. Mom's in love with these, and that's great. So we're gonna transfer these guys off of here onto the cooling rack, and we're done. Now it's time to cook dinner. So there you have it, folks. We got 40 beautiful cookies. That's how you do it. That's how you bake Almond Joy chunk cookies. Easy, easy, and they're very, very tasty. I hope you try them, experiment with your favorite chocolate bar too, and let us know how it turns out, all right? Follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim, with a capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly, youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly, and check me out on Roku. Come to my website at cookingwithkimberly.com, subscribe, and let me know what's going down in your culinary world. Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye.